take a moment to tune into our bodies, tune into our breath, let some things go. And get comfortable in whatever seated position we choose. Checking in with mind, body, breath, and spirit. First few exhales are releases for us. And then the next few inhales can remind us to bring peace and ease and softness to all of our body. Taking a moment to find and set our own personal intention for class today. Take our 3 breaths. Of that 3rd breath, let's begin to warm our bodies. We'll talk about our necks here and our shoulders, so move in any way that feels good to you. And then we're going to come back to a center position. We're going to warm up those arms today by reaching out first in a seated mountain. Palms face away. We're going to let the arms get nice and straight and gently draw them, our fingers and our arms behind us, opening that chest, firing up between the shoulder blades. When we feel like we're at the farthest point, just take a couple breaths here, holding. And then we're going to relax a little, lift up, reach up with our breath, stretch to the sky, exhale out in your own way, in your own speed. A few more breaths up with big exhales and releases down. And then we're going to start to add a little twisting motion going side to side. So we inhale up, twist to one side, nice tall spine. You can hold there for a moment or just come right back to center with your breath and go the other way. I'll give you a moment at the end to hold it for a few breaths, really taking in the twist, but right now we're just moving at our own pace, warming things up. I'm going to take one more time on each side, and then I'm going to have the last one. I'm going to hold it for about 3 breaths, I think, just to take a nice big twist and see where I can feel it, what parts of my body I can feel that might need a little lengthening twist. So tall spine, reach behind, turn the head. So we're twisting, definitely twisting the spine, the body, the sides of the body. I can feel this in my left. I'm twisting left, so my left shoulder, my neck, and then I'm going to take it to the other side and hold it. Nice revealing twist. And back to center. So it feels good to me to start waking up my sitting bones and my low back before we go into some other poses. So I'm going to do circles. If If you don't want to do circles, you can do side to side motion, anything that feels good for your low back and hips here. I'm going to go both ways with my circles, about 5 or 6 rotations each way. And then coming back to center position, let's inhale those arms out. We're going to lean it forward, but we're going to inhale up. We're going to do 3 of these. So reach out about, I don't know, a third of the way down. Really reach out, stretch those arms. You can feel that your low back fires up, your glutes maybe, your core to hold you. And then we're going to release it all the way down, lift back up. Go about 2/3 of the way down, hold. Wiggle, take it down, sweep it around. One more time. This time we're going to go all the way up and all the way forward in front. All the way down to the floor. Now your option is to hold there if you can feel that in your hips and low back, or to walk your hands side to side if you need more. All right, lifting back up, we're going to turn it over to all fours, giving those hips and low back another chance here by swinging our hips, turning our head, just making that feel good. And then adding more on if you want, like a figure 8 or infinity shape, just something that gets things moving in their own way. From here, we're going to take it back to a child's pose or an extended puppy. So you've got knees together as a choice. Sort of wakes up the quads a little more. Knees wide, or you can do your extended puppy and stretch out your arms and back. One more breath here. And then we lift up to all fours, lining up our shoulders over our wrists, spreading those fingers, and then knees are right under hips. We're going to do some cow and cat. So we start at the base of our spine, gently lower the belly, raise the gaze, coming into cow. And then from the base of the spine, arch back, arch up, and look back at your thighs, coming into cat. Just moving through that motion, checking in with shoulders, belly, low back. Let's do 3 more of each. Pay attention to your core. Draw that belly button in toward the spine. All right, it's time to rock back and wake up your feet. So I'm going to do a little dipping here, knees, staying on the balls of my feet, dipping my heels. You can always press up into a forward fold right away if you don't want to do this part. That's where we'll go next. Nice soft kneed forward fold at the back of the mat. Continuing to warm those feet once you get up there. It's not for the legs yet, it's really for the feet and the ankles. And we're checking in with the backs of our legs. Maybe we weren't aware of things that were tight, or maybe, like me, you know your hamstrings are very tight. So we're not ready for any hamstring stretch yet. Let's lift up halfway. Straighten those legs, press away, straighten out your spine, draw the shoulders back, make a trench, turn your gaze if you want for your neck. And then we're going to bend those knees, press down through the feet, and take it up. Moving chair, just moving it up, sinking it back and down, warming the whole body, nice and easy. Putting that weight to the heels. Putting a good bend in the knees. Just keep moving through that. Welcome to those of you who joined late. We've got a request for hamstrings today and all over stretching, so that's what we're going to be working on. Let's do 4 more. one, lift those arms to the sky, reach up, stretch the arms nice and straight, the spine nice and tall. Take a lean to each side. Maybe one more time. And then let's just drop our right arm, reaching in opposite directions. Left fingers reach for the sky. Right fingertips reach for the floor. Let's add a little lean over to our right side. And then we're going to switch. Bring the left arm down. Reach the right arm up. Two opposite directions here, reaching. And then let's lean a little over to the left. And release. Shake it out. Going wide on the mat, checking in with our feet, knees, inner legs. We're going to just make it work for us as we rock it back and forth or go up and down. Making sure that our legs are ready for our goddess, our squat legs. Once they are, we come into position with our knees over our ankles and our knees go in the same direction as our toes. We're going to sink it down low, having options for the arms. Easiest is to bring the hands into heart center. Harder is to bring those arms back into full cactus mode here. Full goddess position, drawing the elbows back, feeling that chest stretch a little bit. And we sink a little lower if we're able. Sometimes we just don't think about it. We don't go a little lower even though we could. Our legs might need it. 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to take it right into our moving sunflowers, not moving yet. So we're going to lift it up, sink it down, tilt it forward, stretch out, and sweep. Here we go, sunflowers. One more, and then we're going to add some movement if you're ready for it. Choose a side and start circling. Two more this way, and then we're going to circle in the opposite direction. Two more. Now we go back to that full goddess. Maybe sink a little lower, lift that spine a little taller, turn those knees out wider, whatever you can do. You're going to pulse it down. Those of us with tight hamstrings and tight connections all around sometimes need to really move that area, warm it up, so we're going to pulse if you want to. Then we're going to take those hands and bring them to our knees, brace, lower, lean to one side, turn your gaze, press that knee away, get a big stretch, switch. Giving you time to do it again. Sometimes it takes a moment to get into that stretch, to really feel all the places in your body you can feel it as you twist. Then we're going to come up. Turn the feet parallel, so we got a nice solid base for our legs. Take your arms out to the side, a little toning move. We're going to take forward circles, tight and tiny, reaching through those fingertips. And we're going to start to add the bigger circle, so it's bigger and looser. Keep making it bigger until you're at your biggest spot that feels comfortable for your shoulders, and take 5 rotations. And then shake it out, wrists, fingers, elbows, and bring those arms back out to the sides nice and strong, reaching for opposite walls. Backward, tight, tiny circles. Really reach. You don't need weights to tone. You can do it just like this. I can anyway. keep going for slightly bigger and looser. And then bigger still until you get biggest in 5. And shake it out. All right, we're in the perfect position to get those hamstrings again with some windmills, sorry. So arms out, we're gonna bend at the waist, tap, come back upright, tap the other side. So let's just do a few of those, reaching only as low as your hamstrings will allow you to. Because they have to work when you're doing this. You're not pressing into the floor to hold yourself like a forward fold. You are having to bend over, and your hamstrings don't want you to fall on your head. Let's do 2 more each way. All right, back up to the top. Reach around behind. Give it a chest opener here. Either interlace your fingers or just make fists. Draw those elbows, the shoulders back. Stretch the arms out, but only if you're able. Holding upright for a moment for a nice, deep, opening chest stretch. And fire up those shoulders to make a big trench back there. When you're ready, we're going to take it forward, and we are going to stretch those hamstrings now. So lean it forward and come down. Hamstrings are tight. Take your hands to the floor right away, giving them some support. Or just get a chest stretch for a moment if you're not too tight there. You can take your feet wider. You can move this wide-legged forward fold in any way that feels good to you. You can even go so far as to take your feet super wide and lower down onto your forearms. Pressing your feet down firmly, that gets my inner legs. But there's so many ways you can move it. Just sometimes pressing deeply through the heels will help stretch calves, Achilles, ankles. A few more breaths, and then we're going to join up in the middle with our feet closer together so that our legs can support us, and we're going to do some twists now that our shoulders and arms are warmed up. So bringing it back to a safe distance apart, lightly putting fingertips to the floor in front, we're going to start our twists, opening up as far as it feels right to us, holding it there for a moment, or just continuing side to side with faster movement. It's totally up to what feels good, to the places in your body that you can feel this. For me, I can feel it in my shoulder, I can feel it in the backs of my legs. And you can really make it felt in the backs of your legs if you want to take your hand all the way to the opposite ankle when you put it down. Couple more times each way. And then we're going to just come back to center, walk or hop our feet into a normal forward fold distance apart. That's about room for 2 fists, hips distance. Press into that floor. Maybe you need a block. Maybe you need to bend your knees a little. Just don't hang. Put the fingers to something or the palms to something. Straighten, get your chest close to your thighs. A nice hamstring stretch, lengthening stretch for the back of your legs. One more breath. Let's lift it up halfway. Extend, turn your gaze if you want. Straighten those legs out if they weren't before. Put a bend in the knees, press down, rise up. You have the opportunity to interlace your fingers as you lift up, or just reach for the sky and lean out a little deeper. Get those obliques. Both sides. And back to center. Shake it out. You know how big I am on loosening and warming up the hip flexors before we lunge, so we're going to do that now, combining it with some balance and some moves. So you can hang on if you need to. So starting on the right foot, we're going to lift that left knee up, and you get to give some love to your foot and ankle if you want by adding movement or adding challenging movement for your core by waving your arms around. But we're going to lift the left leg, warm the left hip flexor, and challenge our core if we choose to. Then more movement for that knee. We're going to take it out to the side, opening the hip and back to center just about 5 times. back to center. We're gonna stand up tall, and we're gonna keep this knee high in front. Ooh, I lost my balance. Sorry. Okay, gotta start over there. Okay, we're gonna take it behind us, and then bring it forward 5 times. So those of you who haven't done it, the tendency is to want to lean. We're gonna try to stay upright and make our leg do the work, not the rest of our body. Really gets the hamstring, so don't do it too much if it's too hard on it. And release, shake that out. Other side, standing on the left leg, bring that right knee up when you're ready. Add your motion if you need to. Standing up tall again, knee goes out to the side and back to center. Then we bring it back to center, stay up tall, lift that right knee. We're going to bring it behind us and in front. Last one. And release. All right, this is your choice now. You can take your knee in circles both ways about 6 times, or you could take that knee and do a figure 8 in front 4 times, and then a figure 8 in back 4 times. It's up to you whichever one feels better to you. Okay? Infinity, figure 8, whatever you want to call it. And you might need to hang on for this one. That's okay. Lift the left knee, choose your circles or the infinity. I'm going to do infinity. 4 in front, 4 in back. Hip clearing sweep and then go behind, which is much more awkward and unbalanced for me. All right, finishing that, we're going to switch over to the other side. Hopefully those hips feel nice and warmed up now. Right knee. Excellent, and put that down. All right, I know it's early in practice, kind of weird, but I want to do a balance pose here. I want to do tree, and I want to do the standing figure 4. So when we do tree, we turn that knee out to the side. We choose floor, shin, or all the way up, and we hug in side to side. For figure 4, I'm going to move from my tree into the figure 4, bringing it in front, and then hugging in, ankle above knee, side to side. Just 5 breaths on both to really make sure this hip is all fired up. So if you want to stay at tree for the whole time, you can, or if you want to stay at figure 4 the whole time. I'm not sinking into the figure 4. I'm making it about the hug in front to back and really just isolating out some parts of this left hip. So standing on your right foot, choose. Coming into tree first. Finding that side to side hug in. Challenging your balance in any way you need to. Really focusing on that connection between inner leg and foot, wherever it is. You can stay at tree or slide that leg above the knee, activate the foot, turn the knee out to the side, and hug in front to back. I can really feel it when I focus on that connection of ankle and front of my right leg, and I can feel it in my left hip. Beautiful. Release that, shake it out, and then we'll get to moving around a bit more. All right, standing on the left leg, come into your tree opposite side, finding that side to side hug in, knee out to the side. Not locking anything to hold it there. Nice even breaths. Let's do our switch, or stay there if you choose. Coming into the front to back hug in, knee out to the side, standing figure 4. deeply. And release. All right, move it around, grab a drink if you need to. Come into the front of the mat. We're going to stand in our mountain. Feet are hips distance apart. Room for 2 fists if you put your fists together. Toes are spread. Inward spiral of the shins. I want you to think about mountain as being your grounding position, your centering within your own, the area around your body and within your body to find balance on your feet. And then active muscles all the way up. Reaching for that floor, long neck, long spine, long arms. Balance. 2 more breaths here. On your next breath, lift your arms with the inhale. Work your way to the floor. You can reach forward, you can swan dive, or you can slide your hands down your body. Whatever feels best to you, coming into forward fold and holding here for a moment. Hopefully you can reach that floor, just with that beginning warm-up we've done. If not, use the block or bend your knees. Inhale halfway. Turn your gaze if you want. Hands to the floor, we're stepping it back to a plank. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths, warming that core in our plank. You can have knees down, you can go on your forearms. We're going to lower to our bellies after this. Lowering down, elbows going toward the back of the mat. You may need to push forward to get your shoulders lined up over your wrists. Take it down. Cobra, remember to use your strength of your back, not all the arms. So it's not all pushing up with the arm, it's lifting your chest off the floor. If you want to go all the way up to an up dog and you're ready for that, you can certainly do it. But I'm going to hold here, just warming my low back. And then we're going to press up, downward facing dog. Make it playful. Get the backs of those legs now, the lower parts specifically, pressing through each heel, stretching out the calf and the Achilles. Looking forward, we're going to step forward 1 foot then the other, coming back to our forward fold, front of the mat. Taking a couple breaths here. Stretch for the back of the legs, maybe your low back even feels it. And we're going to inhale halfway, turn the gaze. Hands to the floor, another 5 breaths in that plank. You can change it, do it to a different level plank if you choose. Nice plank, butts down, belly fired up. Here we go, pressing forward, draw those elbows in and lower down. Now you can do another cobra or a sphinx or an up dog. I'm going to do sphinx. Elbows under shoulders, forearms on the floor, 5 breaths. Belly stretches, back warms. Meet you at downward facing dog. This time you may want to play between plank, bending your knees deeply, stretching your back, backs of the legs, or just hold a balanced down dog. That's what it's supposed to be, but sometimes it doesn't feel good from the start to go right into a balanced down dog because things are still tight. So listen to your body, find your way. Balance it out if you choose. By balancing, I mean the stretch is felt up the back, up to the top of the sitting bones, and then down the backs of the legs, all the way to the heels. Even if your legs aren't straight, you can feel it all the way down. 1 more breath. Step it forward, front of the mat, forward fold. This time we're going to go through that sun salutation pretty quickly and meet back at downward facing dog. So let's inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor, step it back to plank. Lower your own way through the sun salutation. Meet me at downward facing dog. Finding your right leg. Raise it up, swing it through, high lunge. Stretching the front of that left leg as you lift up from the crown, lift up through the torso and spine, choosing to stay there or to add on arms, leaning back even more, really stretching the front of that left leg, lengthening your hip flexor muscle. Challenge move. Rock it forward and lift up into one-legged balance. 3 breaths. You can put your foot down or just lift it right up. Putting the left foot down, you're back to mountain. Meet at downward facing dog after your sun salutation. Here we go. Left leg raises up, comes through, crescent lunge, or high lunge first, setting your position. Checking in with your head, your spine, the back leg, and then adding on. Do it your way. Challenge move forward and up, one-legged balance. Right foot comes down, we're back to mountain, moving through that sun salutation. I'll meet you at downward facing dog once again, which means you can skip that lowering part if it's hard on your wrists, and just meet me at downward facing dog. Once there, find that right leg, swing it through, warrior 2, spinning the back heel down. Check in the position of heel to arch. It should intersect right about your arch. Weight is divided, balanced, arms are reaching, head is turned over that right arm if possible, and the hips and heart, they need to go left. We're going to flip this right palm up, lift it to the sky, straight arm leaning back over toward the back of the mat, over your head if you want. Left arm reaches for floor or presses palm into your back, keeping the left side of that chest open. Shoulders in an open position, not a rounded forward. Sliding over to side angle, elbow to knee, hand to floor, elbow to thigh. Twist that torso so that the light can shine on your heart. Left arm can stay at hip behind you or bring it forward. Just don't put all your weight on that right leg. We want this right hip to be doing some work. We want the whole left side to be getting a stretch. All right, put your gaze over the right foot. Bring your left hand down on one side and the right hand on the other. Flip your heel up. Rock forward and lift that left leg. This is work for the right hamstring, coming into standing splits. Just 5 breaths. Lifting the left leg, straightening the right. Another challenge for our core. Lift up, coming right on up into one-legged balance. 3 breaths. Left foot comes down, we're back to mountain. I'll see you at downward facing dog after the sun salutation. Now we find that left leg, and we swing it through for our warrior 2, checking the position of our feet, heel to arch. The distance of our feet apart, nice and balanced. Arms reaching, level, gaze turning, nice and strong in your warrior 2. flipping that left palm up, take it into a reverse. Big stretch for the left side, big opening for the right side of the chest. Try not to kick your booty out as you slide over into your version of side angle. Opening the right side of the chest. Finding a position for this right arm. Right side gets a stretch and left hip gets some work. Turning your gaze over that left foot now. Hands come down, right one first to balance you, left one on the other side, flip the back heel up, rock it forward, standing split, toes on the right foot point down as we lift that leg and straighten the left leg. Challenge move, take it up, one-legged balance, nice and strong through the core. Beautiful, and release, check it out. All right, we're gonna take it down. We're gonna either do a seated butterfly, that's where you sit tall and put your soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open. You can add on to that to make that feel good, or we're gonna do a garland. So I'm gonna do a garland, taking my feet a little wider than hips distance. Gonna reach my arms up, gonna sink right down in. Adjust so your feet get flat, or as flat as they can before you add on. That's the main goal. Adding on, we can get our elbows in there to help send our knees wide, fire up between our shoulders. Or remember, if you're in butterfly, you can lean forward and gently put some pressure on those knees to lower them toward the earth. Three more breaths here, and whatever you've chosen. And then we're going to all go to seated. Stretch those legs out, giving you the option here. So when we are in the seated position for either staff pose with our hands behind and our legs pressing down, or the wide-legged version of that seated position, you can stretch the backs of your legs without having your hamstrings do a bunch of work to try to hold you from falling over. So you try it once at staff pose, pressing down, leaning forward. Is that the stretch you need today? Or do you need to take it wide and connect from sitting bone to heel? I need to go wide today. So choose your position. We're going to take 8 breaths. Big, deep, nice long stretch for the back of the legs. So add on as you need to, reaching forward only if you need to for your feet or your shins or the floor in front. One more breath. Walk it back up, and let's meet on our backs with knees to chest. So feel your low back for a moment. Maybe rock side to side, maybe circle your knees around from the tailbone area, or move your tailbone area. Whatever feels good to you in your low back. Give it a moment. We're going to take those feet now and take them wide and just do a few windshield wipers. Dropping the knee in so it stretches. When you dip that knee in, you can feel that stretch through the hip, maybe in the hamstring and through the side of the body a little bit. We just go one knee and then the other. Maybe the IT band gets a little stretch here too. I'm not sure. Those of you with tight ITs would know. That might be the one area in my body that is not tight. All right, let's go one more time each way. All right, walking those feet back in. Let's take those feet, knees together, feet up. Flex and point, or flex and circle, or hold your flex. Whatever feels best to your calves and the back of the lower legs. Beautiful. Drop the right leg, bring the left knee into your chest. Feel your hamstring here, your hip. Maybe you want to roll it out to the side or circle it or draw it over, or just pull that knee into the chest and let your hamstring stretch. You can do like half a happy baby here for a moment, just a couple more breaths. Then we're going to take that into a quick pigeon. So bringing your right knee up, left ankle comes in front. We press the left knee down toward the bottom of the mat as we draw that right leg in. Just 5 breaths here. We're going to run out of time for Shavasana. Let the left leg go long. Draw that right knee into your chest. Move it around to make it feel good. Half a happy baby for those of you who need a deeper hamstring stretch. Pigeon opposite side. We bend up that left knee. Bring the right ankle in front of the right knee. Activate your feet. Right knee goes down toward the bottom of the mat as we find a holding position on the left leg. Right hip stretch, pigeon. Alright, you can tune into your body and take any final stretch. I'm going to start our final song here. Hope that you take a moment or two of relaxation to end practice.